Hello. I have a question for you. Do you have a dating strategy? I really want you to think about this. Do you have a process? Do you have a way in which you are dating men? Probably not. I have a very successful dating strategy that helps my smart and successful clients get their guy each and every time. It's called the 3-2-1 funnel. And it helps my clients meet and start dating two plus compatible, high quality men every week using two dating platforms and spending just 30 minutes a day. Now, I'm not going to insult your intelligence because you probably have people at work trying to do that to you all the time. You need a dating system so that you can be in total control, and one that funnels in high quality men that you get to choose from instead of waiting to be chosen. You know that in order to finally have the love life that you want and get the boyfriend or husband that you've dreamed of, you are going to need a consistent pool of high quality men and learn how to evaluate and choose them without wasting time or emotional energy. I know, nothing groundbreaking there. I haven't cured cancer, but I have helped hundreds of smart and successful women like you get their guy. I'm Anwar White, and I'm the founder and CEO of Get Your Guy Coaching. I help smart and successful women date effectively, heal their heart, and get their guy. I've worked with over 500 women, and roughly 90% of the women that I work with get into long-term healthy relationships within 3 to 6 months of working with me. Roughly two-thirds of the women that I work with are either engaged or married within 2 years of working with me. And my 3-2-1 Get Your Guy dating funnel is the reason why. So here's the way most people are telling you to date, and why it's complete BS and doesn't work anymore. So the common dating process in which I see for all of the smart and successful women out there is first, they create this strict criteria looking for a needle in a haystack. What does this look like? This looks like looking for men that are their clones, right? Maybe they have a graduate degree. The thing about that is that only 13% of men have graduate degrees, right? Maybe they're looking for a man that is 5'9" or taller. That's roughly 15% of the men out there. Maybe they're looking for a man that makes six figures. That's roughly 9% of the men out there. And maybe they're looking for men between the ages of 30 and 50. That's only 40% of the men out there. So when we do the mathematics, because I was a statistics major in undergrad, you'll see that that's only 0.07% of all men that you're actually going to give a chance to. And that's not even taking into account the fact that those people might not even like you. Right? So you are roughly going to like 1 out of every 100 men online potentially. That's where we get to the second step, where the searching and the dating becomes exhausting and becomes a chore. Who wants to go through hundreds of actual profiles to just find one or two people that they like, right? This is where you get to see the concept and the habit or the pattern of this starting and stopping all of the time. And when you're starting and stopping dating, you lose momentum and you have to learn how to date all over again, which is going to hinder your progress to actually achieving your love goals. This is where we go into step 3. When we actually do find a person that lines up to the criteria that we've set forth, we put a lot of emphasis on those men, right? And we start to create expectations and thinking just because he's checked off all of the boxes on my checklist or my criteria list, that he's for me, this is it, this is the person that I need to be with. We might have had some pretty good conversations, but now I found the guy, and you put expectations on him, which is where we get into step 4. Because given the good on paper scarcity that you're finding online, one of two things can happen. Either one, you latch onto this guy and put a lot of emphasis into this relationship or interaction, or potentially even get into some sort of relationship with him and stay too long because you want to stay with someone who meets all of the criteria that you have versus prioritizing health and happiness and him putting you first. Or you get severely disappointed if it doesn't work out, which 9 times out of 10 it won't, because 9 out of every 10 guys that you meet will not be the one. That's just love math. When that happens, you get really disappointed and maybe frustrated, confused, and depressed. What I don't like about this common dating process is that it leaves you either feeling desperate and graspy, and that's when you lose your confidence and potentially even get some sort of inferiority complex, or you write off all men because you're tired of searching through all of the profiles and you come up with some sort of superiority complex. Both ways, both feelings, both thoughts of inferiority or superiority complex they're not going to help you actually get and meet your guy. And that's the issue that we're having here. Hopefully you can see now why this approach is not effective and nowhere near enough to compete in today's crazy dating environment. And sure, there are some women out there that luck out after going out on tons of dates and getting their heart broken many times during this outdated process. But girl, let me ask you, do you have the time and the emotional energy to do all of that? I'm pretty sure the answer is no. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this video. And that's fine. As long as you understand that you can't just follow what everyone else is doing and expect to kill it and get your guy. So what do? I say you cut the BS and take the route with the least resistance. Now, this is the get your guy dating process. And what it looks like is, first we're going to widen your dating net and only focus on the very few deal breakers that are out there to help you filter out some of these guys. We want to keep it wide so that people that maybe you wouldn't give an actual chance to can come through and actually be able to prove themselves as someone who can put you first, make you happy, and show up. Secondly, what we do is we pace ourselves, right? I just want you checking the apps 15 minutes in the daytime and 15 minutes in the evening time. That's it. I'm pretty sure you're used to going very hard and going at a full 10, right? It's either everything or nothing. But in this dating game, you're going to have to pace yourself. It's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So being able to put some controls around this is going to help you be able to stay consistent and actually meet your love goals. The third step of the Get Your Guy dating process is the most important step. It is the Get Your Guy 3-2-1 funnel. What does this mean? It means I want you to have 3 dating app message rounds. And now a round is he says something, I say something. That's a conversation round. I want you to have 3 of those. After that, I want you to move him to email. And I know you're saying, oh my God, email? Why email? Email because 1, this is an opportunity for him to get off of the app and just send something to you and focus on you. When he's on the app, he's talking to you and millions of other women potentially. Same with text message as well. And email is a little bit more personal and requires a little bit more thought process because you're just not going to write 1 sentence and that be it. He's going to have to write a little bit more, right? And there you can evaluate his writing and communication skills. Email also because you're a professional woman and you want a man that is comfortable with email and has some sort of professionalism with him as well. The thing about email is that it's actually not that big of an ask compared to just copying and pasting a phone number. All he needs to do is copy and paste an email address and send you an email. This is a really great filter because you're telling him what you want to do. And if he has the capacity to prioritize you and your happiness and your feelings and your thoughts, then he's a keeper. This email filter going from the dating app to the email will actually help you determine that. So after we get to email, we're going to do 2 email rounds. After that, we're going to move him over to either phone or video chat for a phone call. In that phone call, we'll do about 30 minutes or so, and we'll go through the questions that are important to ask based on what you want and need in a relationship. And then we get to step 4, right? Which is only going out physically with high quality men that score high on the phone call based on the certain evaluation criteria that I give you. Why does this work so well? It works so well because you don't waste your time going out with losers, pervs, flakes, because you've vetted them, you've evaluated them in many turns, and they've also shown up for you. The way I want you to date now is that I want these men to show up for you first and foremost, and then we evaluate them on the phone call. They show up for you by moving from app to email. They show up for you by going from email to phone, and they show up for you from going to phone to real date. That is when we actually evaluate them. Most men will not be able to get all the way through, and that's a good thing. I don't want you wasting your time with people that you would never, ever go out with. This is an amazing filter, and instead of the former love statistics of 9 out of every 10 men that you physically go out with, you will not match with, the statistics become closer to 1 out of every 3 or 1 out of every 4. Girl, that is efficiency. That's dating efficiency. And that's what this is all about. So now you can obviously see that this method is way more efficient than the commonly taught dating method at actually dating high quality men on paper. But how about we take a look at some real life examples of how this works in practice instead of just in theory. So I have Elle from New York City. She is a retail executive and I worked with her in 2020. And quote unquote, she finally got it right, right? She got married again after a couple of divorces. She said, when you get to a certain age, sometimes it is easy to think that you won't ever find love and you may have to settle for living your life alone. Anwar was able to help me see that there was so much more out there for me when it came to love. I met the most amazing man who shows up for me and works as hard as I do. I've never had that before. We are married now and feel so lucky to have found him and have worked with Anwar. Amazing Elle. Get it, girl. You'll see her. She's such a happy person and she's just as happy, if not happier, with her man, which makes me so happy. Okay, so this is P from Montreal. I'm not giving their real names because confidentiality is important, and I never use real names when I am illustrating some of my client results. So P is a product manager, and she had one of the best dates ever. She got her guy in 2020, and she said, my last relationship was in business school, and it left me brokenhearted and not wanting to lean into this part of my life. Anwar taught me how to date in a whole new way, and in the first month, I had gone on the most amazing date I had ever been on, with a city scavenger hunt, hike, painting, and mixtape. My guy and I have been going strong for the last 8 months. I'm in an actual healthy relationship, and honestly, I can't believe it. Amazing. So happy for P. Now, this is T from Los Angeles. And T was a single mom who actually adopted her niece and nephew. I think sometimes we fill our lives with things to avoid really thinking about the void in our love life. So we create surrogate partners for ourselves. This can look like a parental relationship, work, anything. So T did this with her adoption of her niece and nephew, but so many people do this all the time. What's so amazing about T's journey was that she was finally able to leave the situationship back in 2020. She says, I came to Anwar and Get Your Guy because I wanted to uplevel my confidence, but I got so much more. I have now been able to set healthy boundaries in my relationships, healed some mother wounds, and gained clarity on what I want and need. These realizations have helped me let go of my situationship that lasted 3 years. Within a few weeks after that, I was in a relationship with this amazing guy who is a lawyer and is so considerate and kind. So happy for her and so excited. Now, this is C from Dallas, and I love the fact that she was able to claim that this was her time, that it's finally her turn. She's moving in with a guy for the very first time this year in 2021, started her relationship in 2020, about 6 weeks after we started working together. She said, I'm the kind of friend and family member who is always there for other people. And so actually working with someone who cared to listen to me and what was going on with me was so different. This emotional self-focus that I hadn't engaged in was transformational for me. I have become a different woman. This woman communicates clearly, sets boundaries, stopped her codependent ways, and makes herself the priority. Work with him, y'all. Yes, the Texas is definitely coming out of her, but I'm so excited for C and all of what this relationship is going toward. It looks like they're probably going to be getting engaged in the next couple of months, so I'm really excited about that. Okay, so this is T from Memphis, and she had been married to a narcissist before and finally found love where she feels safe, heard, and understood. She said, after a 12-year marriage to a narcissist, I didn't think I could put myself out there again. I thought my life was focused on being a mom, which I was fine with. I turned to Anwar as a last resort and wasn't disappointed. I had serious challenges being vulnerable and letting down the wall I had to have. Well, ladies, I lowered that wall and found the love of my life. Work with Anwar because he will get your love life together. This is T. She actually eloped last year in 2020 in the pandemic and married the love of her life. I'm so, so happy for her. This is just a few of some of my client journeys. I have hundreds of them. I love love, and it's so exciting to be able to play a part in helping my clients attain their love goals. Now you can see how much more efficient and effective this 3-2-1 Get Your Guy dating funnel is at finding a quality boyfriend and husband, both on paper and in practice. So instead of going on a long-winded sales pitch, how about I just make you an offer? If you want me to help you get this dating system and strategy up and running in your love life and help you actually become the woman who can confidently manage it, click the button below to schedule a call with me. But before you do, please note, I cannot help everyone. This is not for you if A, you are not coachable, B, your love life is not a top priority for you this year. And C, you don't have funds to invest in expanding your love life and yourself in the next 6 months. But if that is you, girl, click the button below and let's talk. Talk soon. Bye.